Even a decade later, with so many games that came out with amazing gameplay and technological achievements, I will unapologetically and unironically will always defend this game no matter what. And I still think it's one of the best games Electronic Arts ever published.
Damn it, you have to plan another charge.
Hear me out. Let's address the obvious first. When Medal of Honor Warfighter came out, it was very buggy and crashing a lot. There was a serious lack of polish and it was rough around the edges. Marketing for the game was questionable to say the least, being marketed as a time waster until Battlefield 4 comes out. And let's not even forget about the controversy that Daedra Close and Electronic Arts had to deal with that involved military personnel sharing military secrets with the developers.
I like to be a little bit more in the mix, the fast pace of clearing room to room. We have tons of different types of kit depending on what you're doing. Assaulters can end up, swimming over the beach, taking down a target on land. So that's one set of kit. There might be a different set of kit if we're going to do shipboarding.
And that's on top of the controversy the previous game had to deal with by letting you play as a Taliban in multiplayer matches. Everything that could have gone wrong with this franchise actually went wrong. And when it was finally announced that the game not only received quite low review scores, it also sold 3 million units, which is 2 million below compared to what the original Medal of Honor from 2010 have sold. Yikes.
Cover off on those outcrops to the left! The other fucking left!
After really disappointing performance, Electronic Arts announces that they are stopping any remaining development on this game. Future content is scrapped, and Medal of Honor brand is being placed on hold with no time frame when it's coming back. 10 years later, it's still on hold on all major gaming platforms, and joining an active multiplayer server these days is extremely tedious, as it all depends when people feel like playing. So after all that context, why do I still think Medal of Honor Warfighter is one of the best games I ever played in my life? What kind of drugs I have been taking to have this opinion? Well, when you ignore everything, the reviews, the drama, any other existing games and just focus on enjoying the game, just actually analyzing as a game, as a separate game, it's one hell of an experience. In a good way. Is the game perfect? Hell no. I'll be the #1 person to tell you that this game has one of the most horrible maps I have ever played in the first-person shooter. And because of the maps, the primary game mode combat mission, which is basically rush or breakthrough, depending how you look at it, doesn't really flow good on any of the maps that were released with the game. It's very basic, but in a bad way. That being said, when it comes to multiplayer component, it's a well thought out game with a lot of clever game design ideas that I haven't seen in other games, especially in other AAA shooters like Call of Duty or Battlefield. And it was one of the first games I've seen that made shooting mechanics look and sound very powerful. You could be using any type of gun in the game and you still feel the satisfaction of shooting your enemies. And even though the game is 10 years old, it still holds up to the best games that came out in the last decade. And the sound design when you get shot at, not only is one of the best things I ever heard in a video game, it also functions as a valuable information that you're being suppressed.
Men down!
It doesn't really affect your shooting like Battlefield 3 for example, but it lets you know instantly that you should take cover. Medal of Honor Warfighter, when it comes to gameplay mechanics, I literally want these exact developers, the same people that worked on this game, and give them a chance to make their own Battlefield game. If you have to bring someone out of retirement or poach them from other studios, please do. I want them to have a go with Battlefield, because I enjoy what they came up with this game and I want them to expand it for a bigger game. And let's start with the Fireteam Buddy system, which is one of my favorite bits about this game.
We have included the new Fireteam Buddy system. All special operators go to battle with the Fireteam Buddy. This is your blood brother in arms, and you will carry a sixth sense for each other at all times.
This game was designed to play with a friend or some random player together in a team. There's an unbelievably huge emphasis on playing together. And it's insane to me that Battlefield or any other first-person shooter in that matter haven't even attempted to create something similar in their games. While Battlefield and other games give you the tools with no instructions how to produce some sort of teamwork, Medal of Honor Warfighter, on the other hand, literally throws a whole book at you with detailed instructions on why teamwork and power of friendship make your gameplay experience so much better. And most importantly, it doesn't punish you if you don't play together as a team, but it rewards you if you do.
It's just the two of us talking. It's not 8 other people screaming at each other, yelling at each other, griefing each other, trolling, or whatever it is that those other 8 people like to do.
When you spawn into a game, we will automatically pair you up with one. If you have a friend that you have joined with through a party system, you will be paired up with him. You will exactly know who your fighting buddy is because that's the guy with the big green silhouette around him.
And one of the things I really loved was he is my ammo supply guy, my health supply guy. I don't have to run behind somebody who's not in my squad. It's just I go to him, I'm like, where are you at? I look at my mini-map, we meet up, we regroup, and then I get my health and ammo from him.
You know who's your squad mate, tells you when or he or she wants to spawn on you. Your squad mate knows when you want to spawn, so they can take cover, you can take ammo and health from each other. Squad scoring system is highlighted in a different color indicating that you're playing together, which means more points. Heck, you literally get points by just being nearby your squad mate, and he/she can be doing all the killing. But it works so well when it comes to casual gameplay, indicating that you want to play in a team.
Our buddy just got fragged. His aggressor is highlighted in red, and now you know who killed your buddy. A kill of the attacker will instantly respawn your fighting buddy on your 6, getting you back into the action faster than ever before.
And what could complement the buddy system even more than clearly defined classes? Okay, I have a lot of problems how the classes are balanced or unbalanced in this case, but I love the idea how unique each of them are compared to each other. Each class has their own special kill streak, with offensive and defensive options available according to their role.
UAV away.
And what made me appreciate this particular design decision is how easy to be useful in any class without removing the fun of first-person shooter. For example, let's take the Recon class. In Battlefield, for example, Recon class usually has a sniper rifle and enemy spotting gadgets. Usually. But for you to be able to use them properly, you literally need to stop for a moment, stop running or stop shooting, press a button, take your spotting device or whatever that is, and completely ruin the flow of your gameplay. Suddenly you're not playing a first-person shooter, you're playing a lame-ass minigame and trying to mark enemy players to your friendlies. And that's assuming your teammates will even fucking care. In Medal of Honor Warfighter, as a recon, you don't take out some device and press a button to spot an enemy. All you have to do is you spawn, find a spot you like, just play normally, just naturally whip out your bipod and just aim with your sniper. That's it.
One more down.
You're actively engaging in spotting an enemy player while your character automatically calls out the spots.
Target far left. Target far left. Enemy right. Enemy right.
And you can continue sniping as nothing has changed. It's freaking genius, and I don't understand why Battlefield or Call of Duty haven't come up with anything that is that simple as this. To me, it's like, holy hell, this is revolutionary. Can I have this in other games, please? And when speaking of classes, let's talk about something that I respect about this game quite a lot and why classes have so much unique personality without feeling cringe. They went full international.
But with current world events, the necessity for other countries to have their own specialized elite units is greater than ever. Today, special operations forces exist in militaries all over the globe. The following documentary will profile 12 of these Tier 1 operators that you can actually play in Medal of Honor Warfighter, each facing their own unique challenges and relentless adversaries.
Do you even have any idea how hard it is to find a game that tries to represent all different nations and factions with full respect and on equal footing? Technically, this game has no factions, and that's mostly because it's not about USA against terrorists or Europe against Russia. It's all about individual operators from different countries working together as a team. You pick any country operator you want for any class, and you're good to go. Team Red versus Team Blue. That's it. It's that simple. Now you might be thinking, wait, Call of Duty Vanguard has no factions. Heck, Battlefield 2042 doesn't have any either. Does that mean Medal of Honor Warfighter suffers from the same problems? Actually no, quite the opposite, it offers the solutions. Remove the user interface from Vanguard or Battlefield 2042 and suddenly you have no idea who you're supposed to shoot, let alone who your teammates are. But why you should remove your user interface, you might ask? Well, if your first-person shooter doesn't function on the most basic level and you can't identify your enemies without HUD being your crutch, then you failed as a gameplay designer. That's not even an opinion, that's a freaking fact. And what Medal of Honor Warfighter does, even though everyone can use the same character on both red and blue factions, you will know instantly who's on your team because of the different camo pattern in that particular team. Or do what Rocket League does and split colors into two categories, which is reds and yellows for one team, while blues and greens are for another. And you're still able to keep the player customization for your soldier. Funny enough, that's the solution Battlefield community has proposed for Battlefield 2042 during the beta. But having these characters, these international operators that were inspired by real-life operators from a specific country, added so much authenticity to the game that made the game feel somewhat real, authentic.
As more countries develop their own special operations forces, there is a greater opportunity for them to train and work together. In 2006, the Special Operation Command Europe created an annual event called Jackal Stone. Jackal Stone gives different special operations forces the chance to train together, share tactics, and to gain mutual respect from one another.
Our cooperation with other units in the world is very important as we exchange our tactics and experiences. Today, warfare evolves very quickly, so there is no other choice but to work together in order to be a step ahead of our enemies.
And because how our real life works, with international conflicts happening around the world all the freaking time, it's really not hard to believe that certain countries will combine forces and work together to achieve whatever goal they're trying to achieve. You're just a soldier in a team that works together with others, especially your buddy. And that's an amazing thing to feel in a team-based shooter. Hey, Win Zampella and Marcus Leto? Leto? I can't pronounce your name, I'm sorry. If you want to make Battlefield great again, please take this game as a reference. Trust me, you won't be disappointed and players will appreciate the effort. And what I'm describing about this game is just the tip of the iceberg. The customization for your weapon was fantastic and this was the original Gunsmith. Server browser. You can start the game through Balog or you can launch the game directly. Platoons, leaderboards inside the game itself, individual server leaderboards, and so much more.
Looks like it's on.
We're at a point where we feel like we've succeeded in so many things. We want to do things that mean something.
And let me say this again. Do I think the game is perfection? No, there's so many things that are quite annoying. But it just makes me really sad and annoyed at the same time that games that have really strong foundations to be amazing and meaningful, entertaining piece of interactive media are either underperforming or dropped by the publishers because their data says that the game has no chance of surviving. If Medal of Honor Warfighter actually got released today, with a stable launch, limited bugs, better flowing maps with a visual update, this game would compete with Halo and Call of Duty for their players.
Hands! On the ground now!
Is this a controversial opinion by me? Maybe, but looking at the current gaming landscape and what we're getting from our AAA shooters these days, it's not really a ridiculous idea that this game could compete head-to-head if it came out today. Furthermore, if Infinity Ward is really gonna push Call of Duty franchise to really next gen, wouldn't it be a really crazy idea if developers would look at Medal of Honor Warfighter and borrow some of the ideas for Modern Warfare sequel? Imagine a Call of Duty game with a buddy system that is similar to Medal of Honor Warfighter. It will blow people's minds and they will call it the next... I can't even describe how people feel. They would lose their minds. It's just like it will be so revolutionary for the Call of Duty franchise. Or Battlefield updating their old game design ideas when it comes to classes and make it seamless and easy to play your favorite class without destroying your gameplay flow.
We're dying out and becoming a niche.
Yeah, it kind of is. Battlefield as a franchise is a niche right now. It's not one of those things that you want to go home and play. Like, yeah, I enjoy it mostly because I've always been a Battlefield player and it's been nostalgia reasons. But Battlefield 2042, even if it had classes, even if it had no specialists, even if it had classes and performance wasn't shit, I still don't think the game would be fun. Because the design idea behind Battlefield is outdated. This game did so many things right, so many good design decisions. And it's only making me more sad that it's just collecting dust and there's maybe like 40 people in the whole world that care enough about the game and still continue to play to this day. I mean, that's dedication, honestly, and I thank those people for keeping the servers alive. My hope is someone will remember that this game exists and take some lessons from it and make their games equally as smart and good as Medal of Honor Warfighter was. If EA wants to pretend that Medal of Honor Warfighter doesn't exist, so be it. We can only hope someone will not pretend and will take notice of this underrated masterpiece. And that's all I wanted to talk about. I just want to remind everyone that this game exists, and I really love Medal of Honor Warfighter for what it did to the gaming industry. A lot of games got inspired by that. I would even say Modern Warfare 2019 is low-key a spiritual successor to Medal of Honor Warfighter. But that's all I want to talk about. I just want to remind everyone that this game exists. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, leave your comment. It does bump me on the algorithm, so thank you so much. Go listen to our live gaming gathering podcast where we talk about pretty much everything. And that's good. This was Tom, aka TheLankySoldier. Stay safe everyone, and I will see you guys over the rainbow.